What's up, amigos? It's the Prodigy Maker Minute with Chris Lewitt. As you may know, I'm the former #1 for Cornell University, pro circuit player, elite junior development coach, and author and educator, author of The Secrets of Spanish Tennis and the Tennis Technique Bible. Well, we've been producing a few videos on the serve technique, and the serve is one of my favorite techniques to teach. And I've studied a lot of the biomechanics of the serve, and I feel that that's really something that over the years I've built a lot of beautiful mechanics and built some great biomechanics in my players. So not only functional serves, but also very aesthetically pleasing serves. I'll build a beautiful serve, if I might say so myself. But an interesting question that I get a lot is, should I teach or should I have my player, like parents ask me or coaches ask me, should my player use a Continental grip at a young age? And actually, I don't think that's necessary or really critical in the early going. And actually, it can backfire if you're a coach or a parent and you're trying to help your kid. Let's say you got anywhere from 5, 6, 7-year-old, maybe even 8 or 9-year-old. And obviously, we want to get the grip to Continental, or actually, I like to get the grip a little farther than Continental. I think that most kids, I encourage them to use more, almost closer to a one-handed backhand grip, like almost not quite an Eastern backhand grip, but between maybe an Eastern backhand grip and a Continental grip. And I think that's actually the ideal serving grip, especially for spin serves. Sometimes you can have a shift between a Continental and a more extreme Continental, for lack of a better word, closer to an Eastern one-handed backhand. And I teach that grip a lot to my more advanced students. But in the early years, let's say you have a beginner in front of you, I notice that many times one of the first things a coach will do, or sometimes parents, they will say, hey, let's change that grip, because that most kids are holding like a frying pan grip or a forehand grip. They just grab their forehand grip and they go, smack the ball. And actually, I think it's not that big a deal, especially for a while. And obviously, at some point, you want to teach the Continental and then maybe a little bit more. But actually, don't panic. If you see a kid holding a forehand grip and you're a parent or a coach or you're a player yourself, you can use it for a while and just work on the big ticket items, which for me are not always the grip at a young age. Obviously, when a kid's 9, 10, 11, I guess I'm a lot more quick to work on that grip change, because at that stage I'm trying to teach more spins as well, teaching a good slice serve, teaching the beginnings of a good kick serve, and that's almost impossible to do with a forehand grip. So, but I'm talking a little bit younger in the early going. I think it's actually more beneficial, and this would be helpful to all the coaches who like to watch this channel, is just to let the kid use the grip that they're comfortable with and work on bigger ticket items like the L shape that we've been talking about recently, like the leg drive, sequencing the leg drive with the L shape, getting a good toss going, working on accelerating and jumping up to the ball and extending the body fully, not being cramped at the impact, which is a really common problem for young kids. So learning how to stretch the body to its fullest as you reach up to strike the ball, jumping up into the ball, jumping up into the court, landing on one leg and getting a good hip extension with the opposite leg backwards, like that arabesque landing. To me, those are all, if not bigger ticket items, they're all big ticket items just as much as the grip. So what you can do is to build rapport with a young kid is don't right away get, hey, let's change the grip, because as a coach, particularly as a coach or a parent coach, that's going to probably backfire, because the kid's going to have no success and they're going to hate you. And you might lose a kid that way. The kid might never want to come back and take a lesson with you, or might never want to come work on the serve ever again. Because once you change that grip, it's a nightmare. It's really hard to learn. Usually it takes a few weeks, to get some good ones going. It's rarely like, you're rarely going to hit some good serves after that in the same lesson. So I think it's much better. And I teach young coaches this who study with me, just keep the grip alone. Work on those other big ticket items like that I mentioned. To me, they're almost more fundamental. And then when you've built up a good relationship with a kid and a good rapport, say, hey, you know what? we really got to change that grip. And the kid will be much more amenable to that because they know you, there's a trust there, and the rapport has been built. I think that's just a much smarter way to make that grip change. But don't panic. You don't have to change it right away. You can work on other good stuff, and it's just as good in the long run. Guys, if you enjoyed this Prodigy Maker Minute, please check out my big show, the one's coming up soon. We have a new podcast coming out soon, either this week or next. And please consider subscribing. We need subscribers to grow the channel. We need subscribers in order to get higher on search results so that new people can come in and enjoy the content on this channel. And without subscribers, we won't have a vibrant community. So if you are willing to subscribe, if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing that. And if you've already subscribed, thank you so much for being part of this family. I will see you guys on the next program.